Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Holy Prayer Channel. We are going to discuss one of the most favorite stories Jesus ever told, the parable of the Prodigal Son. This beautiful teaching touches on themes that affect us all: forgiveness, grace, and reconciliation. Whether you have been a parent, a child, or simply someone who's experienced the power of second chances, this parable holds a message that never grows old. It is not just some archaic biblical story, but a living, breathing reminder of God's limitless love toward us. As we go through this together, I encourage you to reflect on your own life. Times where you've needed forgiveness, or times you have had to extend that to others. Stay with us as we unpack this story, explore its meaning, and discover how it can help us in our lives today. We will go through the parable verse by verse, exploring deeper meanings behind the actions of each character to draw practical lessons for our lives. So get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's embark on this journey together. Before we get into all that, if you're new here, consider subscribing. If you enjoy thought-provoking Bible teachings, we'd love to have you as part of our community. Your support enables us to continue creating content like this and sharing the message of God's love with as many as possible. Now, let's embark on this beautiful journey to understand the power of forgiveness. First, let's go back to the story in detail. You find this parable in Luke 15:11-32. I'm going to read the passage at a slow pace, and I invite you to create these scenes as we go along. Here was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, "Father, give me my share of the estate." So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. Now, let's pause here. Can you picture this scene? The father's heart must have been heavy as he watched his son walk away, knowing the dangers that lay ahead. Have you ever experienced something similar in your own life? Perhaps a loved one making choices you knew were harmful. One he had spent everything. A severe famine spread throughout that country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. Imagine the desperation of this young man. He'd hit rock bottom. Feeding pigs was considered a disgrace for a Jewish person. But sometimes, it's only when we're at our lowest that we realize how far we've strayed. He went back to his father after some days of starvation. When he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and came to his father. What it took for this son to turn his feet homeward. But now, the story unfolds in beauty. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. And the son said unto him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' So they began to celebrate. This is such a powerful image. The father's love never wavered. He ran to his son. He didn't wait for the son to grovel or beg. His love was immediate and unconditional. Take a moment to reflect on this. How does this scene speak to you? Have you experienced a moment of reconciliation like this in your own life? Now that we have heard the story, let us break it down and see what lessons can be drawn from each part. What a beautiful message of hope, is it not? The parable of the prodigal son reminds us that no matter where we have been, there is always a way back to grace, love, and forgiveness. May we all find the courage to forgive others, to accept God's forgiveness, and to forgive ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message today. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us spread God's message of love and forgiveness to more people. May God's peace and grace be with you always. Until next time, take care and stay blessed.